Hi, everybody. Welcome to the VAU Mic Check. And as always, hey, it's time to have some fun. And like I said, did everybody get a copy of the script, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, no, by the way, hi, Ian.
Hi.
Welcome to Mic Check.
Yeah, this is your first time, Ian?
To be. Yeah, it's my first time actually here.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. How long you been voice acting?
Year and a half, maybe more.
Awesome. So totally new at this, and now you're going to get to cold read.
Yay.
You'll enjoy it.
I just need to. I enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. Love it. Period. Based. Wait, am I doing it now?
Well, if you want to. Usually we kind of have anybody take turns to read and kind of give insights, what we might need to adjust, change.
Well, there's also a hazing process, but for you, we'll expedite that.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. Let me
Never mind the dudes in robes in the corner, okay, dude?
Oh no. Just
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I guess I'll start.
Okay.
All right. Let me just take a read at it. Or am I just supposed to go on it raw?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than what they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
A little quick on the tag there.
Yeah, a little bit quick.
Yeah.
I pulled the trigger a little bit too fast on that one.
Yeah, I typically especially on a commercial like this, I like to really slow down that tag and give it the emphasis, because at the end of the day, most ad agencies will tell you that tag that's the spot in a nutshell. That says everything they've tried to tell you in the 30 seconds prior.
Right.
Yeah. Also, and you did good with the Nacho Big Mouth Burger thing, but you don't always have to use a lot of volume to add energy. So you can be excited about it, but not be raising your voice. You can just lean into the microphone for that. Be introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger, or Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Little thing called active hush.
Yeah. Nacho Big Mouth Burger.
Yeah. Did you lean into the microphone on that, or did you just raise your voice?
I'd a little bit close. There. Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit close to it. Yeah. I always do. Thumb and pinky ratio.
Okay. Well, let's do another take on it. From the top.
Not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server carrying a big mouth burger to a customer turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than what they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
I really like the energy and I like the delivery that time, but pay attention to punctuation, and in those moments, kind of let your words breathe a little bit. As in, not long ago at a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided.
Oh, okay.
So,
fix the flow.
Yeah.
let kind of give each action in the script, its own little moment.
Okay. Can I do it one more time?
Sure.
All right. La 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 la. Yeah. Okay. Not long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server, carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than what they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
That one sounded a bit forced.
It sounded like a little bit forced.
Yeah.
I felt that too.
Here's the thing, okay? I know you're like wanting to do all the technical stuff, and okay, punctuation is just like musical notation. Have you done anything with music before?
Yeah, I did choir.
Okay, well, it's just like musical notation. It just tells you when to breathe, basically, And sometimes we'll take a comma and we'll try to pause on it when we really don't need to pause on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like when you're reading through it, it's like, not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server. See what I'm saying? It just kind of breezed through the comma. It's there, but I just kind of glided over it. Didn't let it slow me down any.
Like
that way, it doesn't chop up what you're doing.
Right.
Because you're not. What the director's going to say is, I want this conversational. Not salesy.
Yeah.
I want this to. They're going to direct with a spec that's going to tell you how conversational they want this to be. And you're also storytelling. I mean, you're starting out with not long ago. So you're telling the story about how the Nacho Big Mouth Burger was born. See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So just take a breath, relax, and also when you're reading, smile your way through it.
All right.
Because people can feel that. I could feel your tension as you were trying that last read, because you were trying a little harder to not do the last thing you did. So you just kind of shake it off and don't try so hard. And like I say a lot in here, have fun with it.
All right.
So one more take.
Okay, let's do it. Not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server, carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got what they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger, grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
That was really interesting. Your pacing picked up when you hit that fourth line. You know, it had kind of a nervous excitement to it. What'd you think, Shane?
Yeah, I thought it was, and I've liked your energy and your tone throughout the whole thing. I mean, I think as a listener, I mean, I think you've got that part down. Just kind of some of the technical stuff, but at the same time, like Nathan's telling you, if you pay too much attention to that, you're going to lose the fun you can have with it. So, there is such a thing, and I've heard this term in the construction business a lot more, but it can apply to any business, called analysis paralysis, where if you do too much analysis on a piece of copy, you're going to end up, just sometimes you just gotta find whether it's. I know a couple of weeks ago I was having trouble on a particular piece of copy, and Nathan, I don't think you were here, and where I finally hit my sweet spot was somebody suggested delivering it in a Southern accent, which growing up in the South was no problem for me. Till I was about 18, that's pretty much the way I talked. So, and that's where I hit the good read. So, sometimes it could be reading through it in a different accent. Sometimes it could be reading through it in, any number of different ways where you finally hit that sweet spot.
Yeah, there's this little thing called a pattern break. Okay. And I do it a lot. I will read something in character, and it will help to kind of give me a little more elasticity when I read. I don't stiffen up as much, because one of my biggest problems is I'm a very analytical person. At the same time, I'm a very free thinker. So those two kind of collide. But then when it comes to reading sentences, I'm thinking sentence structure. And it's like, there's rules that we learned growing up, and every one of them do not apply to what we do as voice actors.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a comma there. That's great for the writer. But for the actor, I'm trying to speak. And, and in any given day, I'm not going to be standing there going, well, like when I introduce the mic check. Hello, comma, welcome to the VAU, comma, mic check. Yeah,
that would.
I sound like a machine.
I am a robot. Yeah.
But we have this, and it's, so it's just a matter of relaxing, letting go, and in a sense, breaking the rules, in order to become more real and more conversational, and to make every sentence that you're speaking something that came out of your own head instead of something that's coming off a page or off your screen.
And Nathan and I were just talking about this a little earlier. It may be too, when you're sending out auditions, don't be afraid to put that one way out of left field take on there, because I know I've booked jobs, I'm sure Nathan has too, where we gave them everything they had no idea that they wanted when they put this in mind. So sometimes it's that way off the grid take that you put on there in that audition is the one that they end up going with.
It really is.
Wait, do you guys like to submit online or live audition?
Most of the time.
However, for me, it's however they want it. I mean, if they want to Skype in and let me do an audition for them. I'm fine with that. Source Connect now, being free, which is slowly taking over for ISDN and I don't even know that I've done an actual live face-to-face in-person audition for anything.
I haven't yet. I have done everything by way of online submission, and I've booked. Oh, well, no, I take that back, because I've done work for the TV station I work for. So, but still, how can I? That's kind of a weird one, because one of the things that I've done for the TV station, I did from here and then submitted it, and they said, "Okay, we'll take it." But at the same time, I wrote the copy for it too, so a little bit of a weirder situation. A friend of mine referred to it as guerrilla marketing. It's like, hey, look, I created this spot. Do you want to run it?
Sure.
And they did.
And see, well, yeah, and in radio, that's kind of how I've made my living for the past 25 years, doing those. And salespeople will come in sometimes completely bewildered on how to approach an image campaign, and I've written stuff for them that has won me awards from our State Broadcasters Association. And typically, if you're the writer, how it sounds in your head. And sometimes you're the only one that can pull that off. So
yeah. And on one job that I booked, I was actually asked to be the writer as well as the voice. Well, I asked the guy, I said, "Do you have any copy for me?" And he's like, "Well," he said, "just come up with something." He says, "I know you can do it." He gave me a tagline, and that was it. What I did outside of the tagline, he's like, "Just, I know you can create something, so just get in there and create it." And I did. So I created several radio spots with all kinds of different characters introducing his new radio station. So worked out.
Dude, that's awesome.
But a lot of times I'm just submitting auditions online. I'm submitting auditions. Welcome to New Edition. Anyway. I think I want to take a run at this.
All right.
Yes, I know. I brought it in here, but it's just as much a cold read for me as it is for you guys.
Nathan?
Yes?
I have one question.
Yes.
Okay. For that P word, is that yeah. How do you pronounce that P word?
Which P word? Pesto?
I think that's the one.
Okay. Pesto. You ever watch?
Okay.
Did you ever watch Animaniacs?
I did.
Good
feathers. I did.
There's one of those good feathers. His name is Pesto. Just think of him when you see that word. If I'm not mistaken, he's the one that sounded like he was.
He was the Joe Pesci, wasn't he? The guy, the one that kind of sounded Joe Pesci-ish. Yeah.
Are you calling me something I'm putting on a burger? Huh? Is that what you're calling me? That one. You think I'm some kind of clown? Yeah, Pesto. Yeah. If anything,
Pesto.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There you go.
By the way, on a total side note,
some kind of sauce?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Side note, what?
Side note.
So
have you ever heard Jim Brewer's and Joe Pesci?
I probably
Jim Brewer's in Saturday Night Live. Okay, he was on Howard Stern the past week or a week and a half or so ago, and they called one of the guys they call the Wag Pack, one of their cast of characters, kind of that real people that call in the show, and they called him with Brewer on the other line as Joe Pesci, and it was one of the funniest things I ever heard. If I can find it on YouTube, I'll send it to you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay.
Cool.
Not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
I liked it.
Yeah, that was very well done.
Yeah.
But
I was waiting for
that being said, let's get the classic Nathan Cundiff go wild with the character read on it.
Okay. Not long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been totally disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
Bravo, sir.
Thank you.
Delicious.
Ooh. Since this is storytelling style, I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more.
Okay.
Not long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server, carrying a tray of nachos. Oh, poor dears. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have turned out to be disastrous turned out delicious. Oh my, tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny, dearie.
Thank you,
now,
Esmeralda. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh well, I was going to go if you guys are ready.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go.
And now, Ian, if this helps any, this is one that I have we don't have the benefit of a storyboard because sometimes you're sent stuff, especially if it's a TV commercial. You're sent the storyboard or at least the written copy to match the storyboard where the scene is being described for you. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this one, and I don't know if any of you are going to be familiar with it besides me, but at least once in your life, you've probably watched one of those really old, like 70s era NFL films presentations with the voice of John Facenda, the voice of God, and the super slow motion stuff. So to me, I especially in the collision part of this, I see the whole crouching tiger, hidden dragon 360 shot of the collision happening and all that stuff. So I'm going with a John Facenda-ish NFL Films delivery. So we'll see how this goes.
All right, go for it.
Yeah.
Not long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
That sounded like it belonged during a what is it? Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I was thinking a Kill Bill flashback.
Well, and the music to go with it would be great. You know, the NFL film's music, which is as iconic as Facinda's voice. The
yeah, I'm hearing that in my head. You know, it's just like, and then capping it off with da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow, and I'm not really into football at all, but I hear that music in my head.
Yeah.
And then just capping off with da 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 da. This Super Bowl is brought to you by Chili's. Chili's Big Mouth Burger.
Yeah, I mean, my first read through this, that was immediately the first thing I thought of and saw and heard in my head. So
that was great. It was. Yeah, it actually literally sounded like it fit with this particular spot.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, the camera slow-mo when the collision happens, and stuff going all over the place, and kind of like when a receiver would try to go over the middle in those NFL films, and the safety was there to just smack him, and Facinda going, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field was no place for boys that day.
Yeah, that definitely fits.
I'm going to try it again and give it more of a. I know Nathan will remember Fractured Fairy Tales on Rocky and Bullwinkle, but
oh yes, I grew up on those.
And normally I'm horrible with accents, but I'm going to try it on this one just because for giggles.
Go for it.
Not long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
Why, that was wonderful. I think I want a burger now. It's fun doing antlers in a booth that has acoustic foam right next to my fingers.
Easy.
But hey, that's okay. I can do it anyway. Listen to me, I'm rhyming. Ah, yes, flashbacks of my childhood. I have them every day. Yeah, that came out good.
Which one would you prefer, just out of curiosity?
I know that they probably would have gone with your football themed read, for the simple fact that depending on the placement of the spot, that's how they would have. That's what they would have wanted for that.
Yeah.
Because it had that feel to it. I mean, I'm picturing all that scene going on. Now, if they were going to go with the Fractured Fairy Tales theme, I would say it would be something of insertion during cartoons.
Yeah.
Or, during that hour when kids are watching the most. Yeah, I know exactly what he was talking about with fractured fairy tales, but that football theme, I think that's what they would have looked to.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that the audience that Chili's would be targeting would be the middle America football fan types.
Yeah,
your typical casual sit down restaurant patrons.
I mean, like the guy sitting down, he's getting ready to watch Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And of course,
well, and even if you really weren't even looking to place it during football, like I say, that NFL films style is so iconic and kind of transcends sports that I think even females would know.
Yeah.
And would get what you were trying to get across.
Actually, I keep thinking there's a spot that's been running not about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
It had nothing. It wasn't a food spot, but it was done in a similar style. Where it's doing that very thing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember what spot it was, but
I'm thinking too. I've seen along these same lines. I've seen ads for cleaning products. Where the spill that the product they're selling is going to clean up, and eventually it's going to look like it never happened. I've seen them use that same style and that same NFL films type.
Yeah.
The visually, if not the voice to match, but
the targeted ads for Father's Day spots.
Yeah, the spill happens in slow motion, and yeah.
Yeah. He's the dad.
A horrified look on the mom's face when the kid knocks the juice cup off the.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Well, you know who's not taken one of these yet? Mr. Kia.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Takia?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Someone's talking to her in the background.
Yeah. Do you guys do this like every other week or
every Saturday? Yeah, I got a thing next Saturday, so I won't be here, but we do this every Saturday. I also have we have another host. It's Michael Montez, and we are always on and just enjoying having fun with these scripts.
Yeah, because I'd love to do more of this. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
here's
cool,
the cool thing: the more you do, the more you will absorb and learn. And every week, I get something new out of this. I will walk away with, I'm going to use that technique next time. In my next read, or it just helps to keep you loose and keep you ready.
Yeah, because I don't really play with commercial scripts because I never get an opportunity. But I was like, oh man, how do I do a commercial script?
Well, that's the thing is always be ready, because those opportunities they do come, and it might be I don't have an opportunity now, but one day I may get an email, phone call. Somebody will approach me saying, do you do commercial copy? Have you ever read commercial copy? So it's good to be ready.
Right.
Now, I don't do audiobooks or e-learning. However, I'm familiar with that territory. What I'm saying?
As a matter of fact, by that same token, as soon as I get done here, I'm actually going to finish up some paid work, which is a nice problem to have, by the way.
That is a nice problem.
Yeah. A series of I think it's corporate training. I don't know that it really falls so much under e-learning, but the thing that I get most out of coming here every week is being able to stretch myself as far as, well, just like, those 2 character reads I just did. You don't have a whole lot of room to do that. And even though corporate narration and e-learning and that kind of stuff goes a pretty long way toward paying the bills, and some of those jobs are pretty good paying jobs, you still, you have to dial back, and you have to be kind of boring and kind of monotonous, but at the same time, that's still a very big part of the voiceover business, and you still got to do it. So,
Yeah.
I'm literally jumping straight out of that and putting on the corporate hat as soon as I get done here. So,
Oh, dang.
It pays to be versatile, I think, is what my point was there.
So the cool thing today is this was your warm up.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like a great warm up.
So you're all loose. You're ready to go.
But yeah. So, but then I have to go from that to more of a welcome to musical interludes on National Public Radio. So.
Yeah, but at the same time, that delivery has been shaped by what you did in here.
Yes.
Yeah. And it actually sounded, I mean, I don't know if you were reading off of any copy, but it sounded more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready for this.
Let's do it.
Well, Takia, are you ready? No.
I guess not.
Well, see, we don't have that many people in here today.
Yep, I'm ready.
You're ready. Well, okay.
Okay. Not too long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server carrying a big mouth burger to a customer turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out to be delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nachos Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burgers on a collision course with destiny.
The second half of that sounded much better and much more prepared than the first half. And I know we've mentioned this before, Takia. How many times did you pre-read that, either kind of silently or in your own head, or just kind of barely out loud before you did that read?
I read it about four times.
Okay.
Because when you were talking, I would put myself on mute and read.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Dash.
Yeah, those first few sentences sounded kind of hesitant, but then as you went on, it sounded like you were more confident and comfortable with the copy. So, I mean, almost to the point that you could probably have it memorized before you walked in the room to do the read. For a producer, be familiar with it, be comfortable with it, and like I say, almost be able to rattle it off from memory when you get in there. Because once you get that mastered, to me, I think the other stuff, the emotions that you give it and everything else, that will come a lot quicker.
But I have one question. Okay, a
Okay,
lot of voiceover people say, well, when you go into the booth, you have to get in there and do it as if you have done it over and over and over, but you've only done it only once.
Yeah, there's a comfort level that you can get to with that kind of read. Because it does happen. I've had pieces of copy handed to me where I had only like less than 30 minutes to really go over the copy, and I had other things going on at the same time. So that's just the nature of, because I was doing it on top of doing television. So I had a minimal amount of time to go over the copy. Okay, but the whole thing is there's a consistency that you can get to with going over copy, to where you're not missing things as you're going over it, and you can be comfortable with it at the same time, because it's like, okay, I'm making this my thoughts, and I say this a lot, but it's so true. These are my thoughts now. Now that this is in my hands, it's mine. It's my thoughts, and it's going to be my words coming out of my mouth. And that's how the listener's going to hear it. And the more you believe it, the more they'll believe it. And so it's just a matter of just kind of, you can run through it and get the basic idea of what the words are saying, and then you inject your personality into it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you to do one more take on it, and kind of smile through your read and add a delightful character to it. Remember, you are telling a story.
Okay.
So think in character.
Okay. Not long ago, in a Chili's restaurant, the server carrying a big mouth burger to a customer turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapeno, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nachos Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
There, you sounded more confident there.
Yeah, you did. You sounded happier. Still a couple of moments where you were a little hesitant with the copy, but especially good on the tagline there.
Okay.
But the big thing
Yeah,
is,
it was much. Oh.
No, go ahead. What was that?
Okay. Well, it felt much smoother than the other one, but I kind of don't understand where most of the hesitant parts came from, because I thought I did a better job than I did the first time, but someone had a different opinion. But yeah. I thought it was smooth through the whole thing, but I don't know who said that I sounded kind of hesitant in most parts, but I thought it was okay. Well, I thought it was better than the first time.
Oh yeah, it was. There was just a moment or two. tangy tortilla strips was one thing that I noticed. You tripped a little bit over tangy before you got to tortilla, but so yeah, I mean not the overall read. I was just talking about maybe one or two little spots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little, minor technicality. And more than likely, like if you're doing a read in an environment where you've booked a job, they'd be like, "Can you do that line with tangy tortilla strips, maybe 2 or 3 different times, and maybe 3 different ways?"
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would just have you do a pickup on that one line, and that would be it.
Okay.
Because most of the time,
Well, on top of that, it largely depends on the environment. Like Nathan and I were talking about earlier, when Ian was asking about whether we're auditioning live or whatever. 9 times out of 10, well, no, actually, you know what? 10 times out of 10 for me, I have never actually gone into someone else's booth and recorded a spot. Now, as my career hopefully continues to take off, that might be the case, but most of the time you're going to be in your own booth, in your own environment, and you can do it as many times as you want to, and that's where your editing skills come in. If you can go back and listen, and if you were a little hesitant on the copy, you can always go back and do it again, and that's the beauty of what we do, especially when it's home based. So the times that you're gonna actually need to be concerned with being prepared enough to go in and own that copy and like you pretty much got it memorized are going to be very rare. So
yeah. And still,
Okay.
then they'll have you do more than one take on things because, well, like spots I do at the TV station, it's been like, it's not one and done. It's like, okay, can you give me a second and a third take on that? And then after the third take, he's like, good, thanks, got it. See you later. And then just move on.
Yeah, on auditions and a lot of times on work that I actually book, typically there will be 2 to 3 emotions that the client will want you to convey. We want this confident and educational or whatever. So what I'll do is I'll give them 3 separate reads. I'll do one where I'm especially kind of delivering it as confidently as I know how. Then one where I'll give it to them as educationally, and as a professorially, if that's a word, as I know how. And then I'll do a third read where I'll do my best to combine the two. That way, there are no redos. They can pretty much pick and choose the one they want.
Okay.
Yeah. See, and another thing that they'll do with that is they will take bits of one take and bits of another sometimes and marry them together.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen with spots too.
Ah.
Now, having said all that, though, I mean, I in this particular case, and in this little chat that we do each week, I mean, it's going to make you better the more that you pre-read and the more that you sound confident with that copy when you're called on to read it. So
yeah,
that never hurts.
Yeah, you'll get to the point one day where it's like, I remember the time when I had this thing, and then you'll be telling somebody else and helping them out. Seriously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This wouldn't have happened if we had to keep saying the word over.
And Dash, are you ready to read? I hear silence. Oh, can't. Saw it in the chat room there.
Oh.
Okay.
There's a baby in the background.
Oh. Ah. Oh man, it's the whole past the baby day. The family's playing with the baby, which means,
oh, let me hold him. Oh, let me. Oh, come here. Let Granny hold the baby.
it happens.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, does anybody want to take another shot at this?
I would. I feel like it took too long. Yeah.
Ian?
Can I actually play around with this just a little bit more?
Play with it. There you go.
Ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server, carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger, grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
Well, what'd y'all think?
I should have fixed that. Collision course with destiny.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I mean, that's one of those that Chili's would have to be probably aiming toward a particular niche for it to work. But assuming that's what they were, it was perfect.
I was thinking Halloween spot.
Yeah.
The way you started with a laugh, I was picturing the Joker.
Yeah, that's exactly where I thought you were going with it too.
Because I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I can play with this. I'm just gonna do some pre-life because I was like, really nervous. I was like, can I do pre-life? I always do acting with pre-life.
Well, that's the thing is starting out with a script like this is doing a pre-life actually helps it. I mean, yeah, you're starting out with not long ago, so you're starting with a story, but still you can pre-life that, because you can be telling this story to a friend. It's like, hey man, a lot long ago. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'd like to try that. Not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server, carrying a big mouth burger to a customer, turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out, it turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto. Pickup. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Introducing Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
I liked it.
And
it got very silent in here all of a sudden.
No, that was good. I actually had an idea for.
I like it.
I had an idea for a different way I'd like to approach it too. A little more normal and conversational, because sometimes, being in radio and being on the air 20 hours a week, I don't do that well. So let me try that.
Okay. Oh, wait. Dash just gave me a piece of direction. Saying at the beginning there was a very similar pattern. If you could change it up a bit more. Destiny felt a bit out of place. Oh, that was for Ian.
That was for me.
Okay.
That was for me. Yeah, I noticed that too. The Destiny at the end felt a bit out of place for me.
Oh, the Destiny was for me. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will take a pickup on that tagline, and then I'll let Shane take this. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
this is going to involve me playing with a copy a lot, and maybe even more than a producer would be comfortable with. But you know, this is just a scratch track. So, not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, there was a server carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer. They turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. That's how we got Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny. You think I could get away with playing with the copy that much?
Okay, here's Dash's piece of direction. Like the direction, but you were Shatnering a bit. Which I like the way that piece of direction came out. It was a bit chopped up, in the Shatner style, which is kind of funny because Shatner's in town today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's at the Fanboy Con over in Knoxville.
All right, let me try it again.
Okay.
Not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, there was a server carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer. They turned a corner and then they collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. That's how we got Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
Yeah, that was a lot less Shatner.
Yeah, I was trying to make that one side of a conversation where somebody asks you, "Hey, have you ever?" Like maybe two chefs saying, "Hey, did you ever come up with a concoction out of something that came out of mashing two things up or something like that?" And then the one of them tells the story of how the Nacho Big Mouth burger came to be.
Ooh, that just something came to mind. Dash has a piece of direction that says, "Can you slow it down just a bit more?"
Yeah.
Just kind of pull it back a hair.
Okay. Yeah, not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server was carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer. They turned a corner and collided with another server carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers got more than they expected because what could have been disastrous turned out delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. That's how we got Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny.
I love that change up from introducing to "that's how we got."
Yeah.
That's how we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pulled it into being conversational.
Yeah. Almost like two Chili's employees talking together.
Yeah. Took the announcer out of it.
Yeah.
It really completely changed it up, took the announcer out of it, and made it.
Well, and again, in a conversation, you're not going to use that word, introducing.
If you do, that would be a strange conversation.
Exactly.
Introducing my bag of groceries. Introducing my new car.
Yeah.
It's like walking into the room. Introducing Nathan Gunda.
Yeah.
That's a bit narcissistic.
Well, and this piece of copy reminds me of a bit that we do on our morning show once a week, because we have an audience full of foodies or stoners, however you want to look at it. And once a week, because you're always seeing these items about new Oreo cookies or new line of stuff, and so we'll take some fast food item that's about to be introduced. And in fact, this past Wednesday, it was a new menu item that Burger King's doing, where they're calling it mac and Cheetos. So they're basically stuffing mac and cheese inside a Cheeto. And so our bit every week is we put it out there, tell them what the item is, and then we have people call us or comment on Facebook with yummy or ew. And this actually, to me, it would be a perfect item for that segment.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I was just kind of thinking about a conversation between me and my partner about whether or not we'd eat this if we went to Chili's.
It's like, hey, Dad, not long ago at Chili's restaurant, the server
Yeah.
made a Big Mouth burger to a customer, man. He turned the corner and collided with another server. Dude was carrying a tray of nachos. Both customers, man, they got way more than they expected, because what could have been disastrous, it turned out delicious. I ate every last bite. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto, dude, on a burger grilled to perfection. Chili's Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny. My mouth, man, right there.
I really like the surfer take.
He's a regular.
Totally tubular, dude.
Totally.
If I change it up a bit, I sound so similar to Greg Sipes.
It's like, hey, dudes, not long ago in a Chili's restaurant, the server carrying a Big Mouth burger to a customer collided with another server carrying nachos. Wow, both customers got more than they expected, because what could have been disastrous turned out super delicious. Tangy tortilla strips, jalapenos, and pesto on a burger grilled to perfection. Chili's new Nacho Big Mouth Burger. Nachos and burger on a collision course with destiny. Booyakasha!
And all the Turtles fans had instant recognition. Ah. Well, awesome. Well, all of us have done a take on this outside of Dash. And, well, due to circumstances beyond control. But this has been a great mic check. We will be here next week. Well, I won't. I have a thing. But we will have another mic check next week. And I promise you, Google Plus folks, you will see the invite next time. Because we will be back next week. So it's been a great one.
All
And
right.
with that, we'll see you next Saturday.
Adieu.